Welcome to the Daily Crossing. Today we're going to be talking about 4 principles that are needed to become a successful entrepreneur. Welcome, great having you with us. First of all, there's many things that you can actually explore, and you're going to know that to become a successful entrepreneur, it's not going to be one thing or 2 things, right? There's many things that you can develop, but you're going to have foundational principles. That has a lot to do not just with a product, with a business idea, some kind of solution that you're providing to the public. You hope to have a great product. You hope to have a great idea. You hope to have something that people will need out there, and that will obviously make it easier on yourself. So, but if all of those things are in place, if you have a good business idea, a good product, a good solution that people actually want and need, then the next thing is, what are the foundational principles that are helping you get to the next level and to become extremely successful? So point number 1 is a spiritual balance, right? We talk about a lot of people that sometimes get a little concerned the moment that we talk about the spiritual, because they think it's like, oh man, now you're trying to sell me God into the business idea. That's not it. By the way, God being part of your process is never going to hurt you, right? You having that principle. But we're talking about a hierarchy of values, right? Something that you got to respond to. A lot of people, politically or business, once they become extremely successful, one of the things that they really lose is the ability to become accountable to something or to someone. So you want to make sure there is a hierarchy of values where spiritually you feel responsible to keep yourself accountable to something or to someone. That would be extremely helpful every step of the way. As a matter of fact, this is where the concept of a phenomenal mentor will come into place, and that deals with the spiritual, not just with the practical. Again, it's the idea that you're embracing a hierarchy of values that would allow you to become extremely successful, knowing that at some point you got to have a conversation with something or someone, so that your accountability and the way you go about business is always in front of somebody that will give you some legitimate feedback and will tell you what it is that you're doing right and you're doing wrong. The second thing, which deals with as we go through life and how we learn to become more mature, and how we expressing that learning curve and the different layers of maturity. There's personal maturity, there's business maturity. We're looking for, point number 2 would be emotional intelligence, or what you can also call it emotional balance, right? A lot of people either celebrate too much during the good moments, but there will also be too down during difficult moments, right? So how do you find an emotional balance that will help you understand that when you're having a good moment, it's definitely something that you got to be happy about. But it is a moment. You can't stay there forever. You can't be celebrating, even having a successful transaction that gave you the opportunity to make some money. A lot of people will immediately go spend it and will spend a lot of time celebrating what just took place, opposed to building upon that success so they can help you advance your business idea, advance whatever vision you have, and hopefully continue to grow your business. From the negative side, right, when something goes wrong, you see people that will have moments that they will consider that almost like a death sentence, right? Like, I don't know how I'm going to recover. There's no way I can make this happen. There's no way I can get out of it. What people are going to say about me. Sometimes all those pressures that you add to yourself, right? Especially the opinion of other people. And in many cases, people that don't help you with anything, they really don't care about your success. They will probably be willing to criticize you one way or the other, but you shouldn't allow those voices to become too important in your decision process making. So you want to start, shutting down those noises around you, but that will be helpful even for your own personal emotional state. You surrounding yourself with good people that will give you right feedback, putting yourself in the right environment will always be helpful. Point number 3 is mental toughness. Listen, as you go through business, one of the things that I realized being even early on in my life, the whole idea of mental toughness was something that became very clear. There was a necessity at every level, personal level, anybody that has the ambition to do something significant. And I'm not referring about just making a lot of money. I hope you do. But I'm not just talking about making a lot of money. I'm talking about if you want to have a life of significance, right? There's going to be a lot of challenges along the way. a lot of difficult moments, a lot of moments that can throw you out of the game, moments that will make you second guess your process, moments that will make you say, man, this is too difficult. Let me go find something else to do. Those moments where you know that there's voices around you that are constantly either criticizing you or there's somewhere somehow want to take you off your game a little bit, right? And there's going to be real situations where you're absolutely going to have some losses, and those losses, will make you second guess as to whether or not you're doing the right thing or you're doing the right idea. Again, if you're surrounded by good people, if you know that you had a very good vision, that there is a very good game plan, right? The fact that you're going to have some challenges along the way, and I promise you, I'm telling you, those challenges will come your way. So how you're going to react to that is going to be, that's what's going to be the difference between becoming successful, not becoming successful. Most people don't have the mental toughness to hang in there, to stay the course, right? To just do what is needed to improve your position, to get yourself out of that situation, to become resourceful, right? Just to look for the additional tools that are needed. It's like putting a puzzle together. At some point you said, okay, there's something missing here that caused a lot of pain, that created a lot of problems. What is it? And then you go look for that one piece, whether it's, again, additional marketing, additional capital, additional support from the overall marketplace, or from some of the people that are supposed to be guiding you and helping you. But mental toughness is what gives you the ability to pause for a moment, don't go into a panic mode, and just tells you, okay, this too shall pass, right? And that will always be the case one way or the other, I promise you. The last of the principles, because is 4 principles that I'm sharing with you, is discipline. The most successful people, once you go through the process of understanding how they got to that level of success, and I'm not even talking about the fact that they were disciplined always. Maybe before they started that project, they were not as disciplined. We have so many stories, right, of people that were not really doing well when it came to the discipline side of it, prior to really selling out to a project, and they said, this time around, I'm going to commit to it 100%. I never done that with anything. This is going to be the first time that I'm going to sell out completely to this idea. I really believe that this is the right course, the right thing to do, and I'm going to go for it, right? And they stay 100% disciplined until they get to that level of success. Another thing is, even when they get to that level, then you see a lot of people that become undisciplined or less disciplined, meaning and I'm not talking about doing crazy stuff, right? It's not like, you were able to become successful, multimillionaire, and not all you're doing is things that you're not supposed to, but you see how they become, less consistent about the process, less intense. There's not the same sense of urgency, right? And by the way, in some cases, what you were able to achieve, you're looking at a Jeff Bezos right now that is cruising the planet on a $500 million yacht, you know what I mean? And you said, okay, this guy is not working with the same level of intensity, is not being as disciplined as it was, but at this point, he doesn't need to be. He built a monster of a company that really doesn't need him to be as present or to be present at all, to continue to function, because the level of success was very high. And now he's saying, listen, let me just enjoy that. That's a whole different level. What I'm saying is, there is a window of time. I want you to see it as crossing a bridge, right? Where you absolutely got to do every single sacrifice that is needed from beginning to the end. And what happens to most people is they start the process. By the way, they start the sacrificing component. They literally will go through the process of making sacrifices, making commitments, putting money into the project, going out there working very hard, but somewhere halfway through the process, either self-inflicted, again, lack of discipline, self-inflicted issues, or they didn't have the stamina, they didn't have the type of discipline that is needed to see it through, right? And so if you're going to start a sequence of sacrifices to try to get a project to work and you don't take it all the way to the end, it's an empty exercise. It was done for no reason. If you're starting something, make sure that you know exactly where the end is, and that at least you're going to carry it with the highest level of discipline all the way to the end. And the final point, outside of these 4 principles is, if you're starting something, don't quit. Try get it to the point where you can at least say, I was able to experience this level of success. I was successful about the average. When it comes out there, I was able to get the returns that I was looking for, and to build something that's going to stay, to pass it on to my children, or I can resell it, whatever the case may be. If you're thinking about moving on to something else, don't do it until you have already mastered something or at least experienced a level of success, unless you're really dealing with a losing situation where the company was not a good idea, the product was not an idea, you didn't have any real solutions, and you were just essentially practicing to become an entrepreneur. But if you already decided that I have a good company, I have a good product, I have a good set of solutions, see it through, stick to it, don't quit, get to a certain level of success, and then think about what would be the exit strategy. Are you selling, or are you passing it on to somebody, or being in your family, so there's some level of continuity. But these 4 principles would be extremely helpful, extremely important for you to, as a personal level, something that will carry you through life, through business, through many different things. So I do hope this was something helpful, that you can apply it. A lot of this is simple, but it's a practical perspective. There's many resources, many books out there that will be helpful to you, so that you can increase your level of spiritual balance, your emotional intelligence, your mental toughness, and definitely your discipline. So with that being said, Marvin Del Valle, Daily Crossing, please pass it around. Make sure that give us your feedback. What would be some of the foundational principles for you business-wise that either already had been helpful or can become helpful not only to yourself, but also something to share with everybody else. Guys, good to see you. Until the next one, the Daily Crossing.